Okay, everyone. Hi, good afternoon. This is Jenny Anderson with the Alliance for Audited Media. It is now 1:30, so we're going to go ahead and start this afternoon's webinar. So again, thank you so much for all of you that are attending. We appreciate your time and attendance today. And today we're going to be going over the News Media Analyzer. So we'll be going over how to access current and historical newspaper data in the News Media Analyzer and how to download data into formats, most popular being Excel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Now you should be seeing our website. It's Alliance for Audited Media website. And this is our main website. This is where you go to log into the Media Intelligence Center. And this is where you're going to also find a lot of information if you want to figure out some definitions or types for our newspapers or magazines. You can come onto our website and look through resources. We have a support center, etc. So you're able to do that here, and should be helpful, if you've got any questions, that type of thing. So what we're going to do today is log into our Media Intelligence Center. So I'm going to click on Login, Media Intelligence Center. And for those that are returning users, just remember to click on Remember Me so it saves all of your login information. If you don't have login information, please do give us a call at 224-366-6339, and we'll give you tentative credentials, and then you can create your own credentials. So I'm signing in to the MIC, and right here you can see we have over 1,600 publications listed in the MIC. So right now we've got all of our titles: news, magazine, B2B, farm, and some interactive. And everything is listed here, US and Canadian, by alphabetical order. So here, the circulation number you see on this page is print and digital circulation. So they're both included. This is just kind of your main page here. We'll be delving in how to access our data for our publications here in a few minutes. So to start our session, you can choose your selected publications by using either the search by bar at the top, or you can use your filters on your left-hand side. And I'll be showing you both of these in detail for a moment. One quick tip I wanted to mention first: you can also type a zip code in the search by box, and it'll bring up papers that have circulation within that zip code. So if we were to type in 33446 and hit enter, you'll see now this is in Florida. We also have some papers in New York that have circulation within this zip code. So it's going to show you all of those newspapers, and you'll get a list here, and you can pull those into the analyzer. So just an FYI, a tip for you: if you've got a zip code or zip codes, put them in here, comma, no space, your next zip code. So it would go like this, comma, no space, your next zip code, etc. Now, what we're going to do is going to go over some of our filters. So I'm going to click Reset, which is this button to the left of Filter By that resets our session. And I want to go over some of the filters that you can use to access data. We know under Media Filter, we're going to choose News Media because today we're going over newspapers. Once you choose News Media, you've got your US and Canadian publications listed again in alphabetical order. We have both listed here. You can see the city and state where these publications are located. So under the country, you can choose to look at US publications singularly, or you can choose to look at only Canada. Or if you don't pick either or, it will keep both in our listing here. Some other popular filters are the circulation filter. The circulation filter, when you click on it, you can pick and choose newspapers that you want to access with either larger circulation, or you can access those that are 1 to 25,000, really up to you. This is if you're kind of doing some broad searches. You don't know the titles you want to look at. You kind of want to just get a general idea. Another popular filter is parent company filter. A lot of people use this filter, and I do as well. When you click under parent company, you're going to get a list of the parent companies and the publications we have, the count after each parent company. So if I were to choose Lee Enterprises and click apply and close, now you see here on my main page, I have my selected properties, again in alphabetical order, but now my parent company says Lee Enterprises. So we've taken our publications, our entire grouping of publications, and what you do is you just list here parent company, go in parent company filter and do Lee Enterprises Incorporated. So that's the parent company filter. You can go ahead and access that under parent company. And I'm going to click reset because I'm going to show you another helpful filter. So I clicked on reset and then I scroll down to the very bottom and I'm going to show you market search. So, when I click on the plus sign under market search, I'm going to go over the state option. So I'm going to click on state and let's just pick Montana. Right in the middle here, click apply and close. When you choose a state by using this filter, it doesn't necessarily mean that all your results will be newspapers in the state of Montana. You can see here we've got New York, Iowa, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Illinois. What I like to do is, let's say I want to just access those papers that reside in Montana. I'm going to click on state. These are all clickable, these headers, if you want a data sort. And when I did the data sort, it did an alphabetical order starting by state. So I'm going to scroll down and see here where it says MT Montana. I can now start to choose my Montana newspapers. And we go, just choose these all the way down. And then now we've got all our Montana newspapers. So just to let you know, you'll see other states here. Again, it's because these papers have circulation within Montana. So if you get confused about that, that's why more are showing up here. So remember also to access your brand view, your distribution map, the news media statements tab, or the reports library tab, you just click on a name in blue. And that takes you to your PDF reports, your brand view, that type of thing. That's when you just click on a name in blue, and then that will take you to where you're going to access your PDFs. You'll see news media statements, distribution map, reports library, etc. So you'll see we've got that listed there, and we'll exit out of here because today we're talking about the News Media Analyzer. So I've gone over the filters. Now I want to use the search by bar. So I'm going to click on reset. And now I'm going up to my search by bar. Now, this is where if you know some titles that you're interested in, you can start typing them in. Again, remember it's title A, comma, no space, title B, comma, no space. So let's go ahead and start typing in. We're going to do Akron Beacon Journal. And as I start typing, you'll see it comes up here below. And then I'm going to put a comma, no space, and I'm going to type in my second title. So let's say we're looking at Boston Globe. And as I start to type in, I just type in BOS, here comes Boston Globe. Now, let's say that I'm going to type in a Canadian title, and we start to type in the title, and as you can see, it's going to come up below. So now we've got our three listed. If you want to add additional titles to this search, comma, no space, next title. So what we want to do since we've got our list here, we're going to look today at only three as an example. Again, you can pull them by parent company, by zip code, whichever. You can pull in your grouping of titles. I'm going to go ahead and put a check mark to the left of media property. And what that does is it selects all three of my titles here. Now, something very, very important that I want you to know, you have to select at least one title for the Analyze Data button to pop up. Some people will ask, where do I access the News Media Analyzer? It's because you don't have at least one title selected, and that will bring up the Analyze Data button. We're going to select all three, and then we're going to click on Analyze Data. And when you click on Analyze Data, you want to go to the News Media Analyzer tab. The News Media Analyzer is where we're going to spend the rest of our time in this webinar, because this is where we're going to access our data and where we're going to be able to download it into Excel. So as I scroll down, you'll see under Select Data Source, we have News Media Statement, Current Reporting and Historical Reporting Period, and Select Report. And we've got a number of reports listed here that we can select. And remember, we pulled in both US and Canadian publications. So as part of AAM's newspaper simplification initiative, we've been working to streamline and unify US and Canadian reporting categories and filings. So we wanted to simplify the data submission process. So the culmination of those efforts is effective with the September 2021 filing period. So as of September 2021 reporting, as I said, you can now pull US and Canadian newspapers into the News Media Analyzer together. You used to have to pull them separately, and you can access some of the same reports. When pulling in Canadian and US titles, you'll see that the only data source option is News Media Statements. That's because we're pulling in both US and Canadian publications. I'll show you where you can access audited data as the source in a few minutes. So as I scroll down, some of the most popular reports here are the Executive Summary Report, the Print Analysis Report, distribution by counties, and distribution by zip code. Please note, distribution by counties and distribution by zip code data is not available for Canadian publications. They do not provide this data or any reports that request geodata. So what you'll get is, for the two US publications we pulled into the analyzer, it will provide this geodata. So just remember that when you're coming in to the analyzer tools with both US and Canadian publications. So what is in, so first I should say, you can access any of these reports three ways. You can either export. This will export data directly into Excel. So if I click on export, what it's going to do is provide me with my Excel report. And I didn't get to pick and choose the column headers. These are the most used column headers. They are total print, total digital replica, total digital non-replica, and total circulation. So you'll see for the publications we pulled in, all we did was click that Excel icon and we got a report directly into Excel. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here. Our other option to do when we're deciding between export, view report, or modify, you can pick and choose which one you want to look at. Here, let's say we're doing view report. So remember, export went directly to Excel. View report. This, again, we don't get to pick and choose the column headers that we want, but you can view them here prior to exporting. Again, we have the total print, digital replica, non-replica, and total circulation. If you're happy with those headers, go ahead and click export. Choose Excel and click OK, and that will download into Excel. Now, the modify option is the last option, and one really that I use the most often, because when I click on the plus sign under modify, you're going to get to view the categories that I can pick and choose for my reports. Now, those categories that are highlighted in gray, you'll see the gray and the check mark. These will always be in your report. You cannot deselect them. but it does give you options to select even more information. Instead of just total print, digital replica, non-replica, I can access total paid and total qualified. If I want publication type, I'll put that in here as well. You can also click select all, and then we'll click submit. Excuse me. Now, what you want to do here is click this export button, choose your preferred format, and click OK. And you'll download directly into Excel. So remember your three options for accessing your reports. What I'm going to do is show you now the print analysis report. I'm going to click the plus sign under Modify to the right of Print Analysis. Now, let's say that you're interested in finding individual subscriptions. This used to be called individually delivered home delivery and mail. So now it's retitled as individual subscriptions. So that's your home delivery subscriptions as it used to be. You also have your single copy. So if you're interested in getting breakdowns of individual subs or single copy, or even business traveler, you can get that in your print analysis report. For this example, I'm going to click select all, and then I'm going to click submit. Now you see I've got my report here. It's got all my column headers available. And again, I'm just going to click on export, choose my preferred format, and click OK. Whenever you click OK, those reports download right here in the left corner, and they will open in Excel. So let's take a look at distribution by zip code, probably the report I get asked about most often. So I'm going to click the plus sign under Modify to the right of distribution by zip code. And you're going to see data is not available for one of these pubs. It's the Canadian pub we pulled in. You can click to see more, and you'll see the title listed. You'll also see our grayed out check marks here. The majority of the categories in our zip code report are already selected. If you want every single one, go ahead and click select all and click on submit. Once again, you'll see your report loading. And if you're satisfied with the report, go ahead and click export, choose Excel, and click OK. And now we've downloaded into Excel. Again, they all show up for me in the lower left-hand corner. And now you've got your zip code report. So that's how you access, I'm going to close out of here. That's how you access data when you're pulling in US and Canadian pubs. All of these reports, they work the same. Export directly into Excel, view the report, modify the category options, click submit and export. So the reports will pull data for the most recent statement period. Just wanted you to know, current reporting period is automatically selected. If you want historical periods, I'm going to go ahead and put a check mark to the left of historical reporting period. And let's say we want to do a period over period analysis. I'll choose 12. Whoops, let me actually choose 3/31/2021. Let's do Q1 2020, Q1 2019, Q1 2018, Q1 2017. So I do that here. I've chosen my period over period historical time periods. Then I go down to the report, and now I can choose my report. Let's go ahead and click on Modify, select all, and submit. Now what I'm going to have, if you look at my reporting date, I've got my 2020 date. And as I scroll down, I've got my 2019 date. And as you scroll down, you continue to see 2018, 2017, etc. This is going to provide you with data from all of those statement periods that we chose. Again, you just click on Export, choose your preferred format, and click OK. Now you've downloaded a report with these different historical periods in that. If you leave it at the default, it'll pull the most current reporting period for every single title that we pull into the analyzer. So as I noted a few minutes ago, when pulling in Canadian and US titles, you'll see that the only data source option is news media statements. To access audited data, you'll have to pull in US titles only and then select audited data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on reset and I'm going to select news media because we're looking at news media under the media filter. And then I'm going to scroll down and click on country and United States. So I'm going to, for this example, just start pulling sample papers. You can, again, go to the next page. You pull in whatever you'd like here. And it's, you can go down and choose parent company, whatever you'd like to choose. I'm just picking a couple random papers to show you the News Media Analyzer. And now you see, since we pulled in just US titles, our audited data option shows under select data source under standard reports. So here we'll deselect news media statements and select audited data. Now, again, for audited data as the source, you have these different reports to access your data. It works the same as it did for news media statement data. You can export reports, view report, or modify them. Works exactly the same as it did for news media statement data being selected. One thing to note, as of September 2020 audits, audited data is no longer data-based, meaning if you're looking for where your, let's say, December or September ending 2020 audited data is data-based, that was a mouthful, you won't be able to get it in the News Media Analyzer or your 2021 audits. The only place you're going to get those is in Reports Library, and it's going to be via a PDF. So I just wanted you to remember that when you're looking in the Analyzer report, why you're not accessing your September 2020 audited data and onward. So here you can see again, every option we have for the news media statements is here. And again, you pull data the exact same way. Export, view report, modify. Now, if you want to access historical audit periods, you click on, see, we got audited data here. We're going to put a check mark to the left of historical reporting period. And you'll see here are our audit periods. You can now select 2020, 2019, 2018. And those publications that have audits released within those years will show up. Now you come down here and you choose your report. Let's say we want print analysis. I'll click the modify button, select all, and click submit. Now we've got our 2019 info for Abilene Reporter News, only had that period. We go and scroll down. Let's take a look at the Advocate, for instance. You'll see June 2020. And as you scroll down, you'll see their previous statement period as well. So you can choose previous statement periods for audits as well. And here you would just export this like we do every other report. Choose Excel and click OK. You can also choose different options, PDF, Word, PowerPoint, etc. So I'll close out of here. It's also important to mention that you can pull just Canadian newspapers into the News Media Analyzer and access the executive summary, print analysis, digital edition analysis, and basic prices reports. So I'm going to go ahead and click reset and show you how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and put a check mark to the left of news media. And then I'm going to scroll down to country. I'm going to pick Canada. Now we've got our Canadian titles listed here, again in alphabetical order. Now I want to pull my Canadian titles into the Analyzer tool. I'm going to go ahead and select them all. I'm going to put a check mark to the left of media property. And then I'm going to click on Analyze Data. Once again, we're going into the News Media Analyzer tab. Now you can see news media statements is the only data source we have available here. And current reporting period is selected. That's the default. Now remember, for our Canadian titles, we do not have the geo option. So that's why you see a fewer options here. Once again, you can export, view report, or modify. So let's go ahead and modify to the right of executive summary. Here you've got your, again, total print, your digital replica and non-replica, and your paid and qualified options. Either leave the grayed out options as your choice or click select all. Then you click submit. And now we've got data for all of our Canadian publications we pulled into the Analyzer tool. Again, just like every other way we were able to export these, you click on the export button, choose your preferred format, and you click OK. This downloads just like the other reports directly into Excel. Same works for any of these reports. Digital edition analysis, we haven't really seen the categories for that. We've got paid individual access digital replica, single copy. We also have our total paid and total qualified. Then we go over to our non-replica options. We've got our paid and qualified non-replica, total digital non-replica. So for this, let's go ahead and select all and click submit. Now we've got our digital edition analysis for our Canadian publications. Again, we all know how to export now. We want to choose export, our preferred format, and OK. And that's going to download our data into Excel, into whatever format you'd like. So you can access US and Canadian titles together or each separately. You get just a little bit of a different view here for depending on which type of data that you want to look at. So something that I wanted to bring to your attention as well is you can format within a report. You can group or you can filter. So let's say I'm going to do executive summary, and let's add historical periods. We'll do just a couple here, Q1 2020, Q1 2019, and we'll hit executive summary. We'll go select all and submit. Now, I do all of my formatting in Excel, but some people may decide that they want to format within the report. If you want to do that, what you want to do is go over to kind of this, it looks like a barrel with lines. Some people call them the hamburgers. I think those are more like 3 lines, but what you want to do is you can click here and print, etc. But what we're going to do is, don't click on executive summary top line, accidentally did that. What we're going to do actually is click on a header. So if we're going to go ahead, so ignore that, the down arrow, that is, I went over there by mistake. So what we want to do is click on a column header. So what you're going to want to do is go to, let's pick standard frequency. I click on standard frequency, and let's say I want to group. So if I click on this down arrow, here is where I mentioned the hamburger. This is where you want to access it. You click that down arrow, and I click on group and add a group. So what it's going to do is it's going to group my publications by standard frequency. You can see this grouping here. And if you scroll down, you'll see additional groupings. And what it's doing is it's grouping all of these together by combined daily average, by Friday, by Monday, etc. So you'll get that here. You can also filter. Let's say you wanted to filter by a particular date. You can click on filter and select values. And we just want to look at 2019 and click OK. So now we only have 2019 data. Now, once you've done your filtering here, you can click on export and choose your preferred format and click OK. And now all this data as it's formatted will download into Excel. Now I wait till I'm in Excel to do my formatting, but just to let you know, if you feel like you want to click on one of these column headers at one point, go ahead and do so, and you can do some filtering here. Now that we've gone through how to access statement and audited data in the News Media Analyzer, just want to show you a tip on how to save a list. So let's go ahead and click reset here. And we come in again, we're looking for news media. And I'm going to scroll down to parent company because when you come in here, you may be looking for a certain parent company. And as we scroll down, let's say we want to look at, let's pick one that has a number of titles listed. Let's do Ogden. So we click on Ogden and click Apply and Close. Now, let's say we want to use this list on a regular basis. What you have to do is select every title that you want included on your list, or click on the box to the left of Media Property, and we're going to go ahead and click Save Lists. Now, what I want to do is I want to create a new list, and I'm just going to use this as Ogden Test, and I'm going to click Save. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click Reset. Let's say you're coming in on any time you want to use your Ogden list that you created, or any other list you created. You go ahead and click on Manage Lists, Report Alerts. Here's my Ogden test. I'm going to put a check mark to the left of it and click Retrieve. Now here is my list as I chose it. You can always just go into the parent company filter and pick a parent company, but this is kind of a way, if you'd like to save your list, you can do that. So let me click Reset here, and that is our Media Intelligence Center News Media Analyzer training. One last reminder, please send me an email or give me a call using the For Support info here. This MI Center email and this phone number comes directly to me. So if you're in the Analyzer tools or in the MIC altogether and you've got questions, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to hear from you. And thank you so much for joining me today in our webinar, and hope that you have a very nice evening. Thanks so much.